Okay. Let's move to engineering room. Oh, hey, he's awake. This is what we need to do here. So I got this before, but unfortunately it doesn't keep track of your stuff. Yeah, they don't have it. Okay, so this is the number we got off the bottle I think we looked at before. So let's do this. 395644.
Who the hell are you?
I'm an acquaintance of Gibson. I need some information.
You an investigator too, huh? Can't trust him. All right, let's have the password.
The password?
How did you know that he was showing some form? Following the revolution? Okay. Back to the computer room. Use Jordan. A fact file. History. Destroy the Chernorton research facility, like Chernobyl. Nice. I think that was 1986 when that happened. Biological weapon called Lucifer Alpha, which history spread throughout Eastern Europe. 6 months later, Lucifer Alpha suddenly mutated into a non-lethal form. Now, was designated and remains in the United Nations, which was shown to prevent. Which has become most basic features of research to reveal its causes, but the real reason behind it remains unknown. History. World War III. World War III, 2010-2011. On August 8, 2010, war broke out over possession of northern Eurasia, left uninhabited by the conservative Soviet leaders who managed to survive the catastrophe, received military support from China, and launched an invasion of the region. forces trans hydraulics leading to the victory for Western forces. It's known as the Half-Year War. It's over the past 50 years for having any outside interference. So, contamination expected to prevent any plant or animal life form. Something like World War III, the United Nations set up its position south of the region. Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty in 1970 strategic guns in the theater. Nuclear weapons were steadily reduced. The threat of nuclear war was further reduced by military use. Cessation Accord, which enforced all military use nuclear material at the beginning of the century. Okay. Witch hunt. Missiles caused by the Snatcher problem, a form of group violence involving the lynching of numerous innocent who were believed to be by witch hunt. I get it. The targets of the attacks named after the Western Sea. A form of revulsion at the growing poverty among multitude groups in the southern regions, resulting in great loss of life. The problem died out when we targeted individuals of high social standing. Okay. Culture science? Science. Oh boy. I guess we gotta go through this. Plans were made in the late 20th century to develop space resources for the betterment of mankind. But global warming, the catastrophe, and other factors which speeded this trend to the construction of the U.S. space station Freedom, as well as the development of successful fusion-based propulsion. Present a helium-3 mine to provide fuel for the fusion rockets on development. The promised land projected to create permanent colonies on Mars is in advanced stages. Who knew we would start getting closer to that point now, but a lot of it's private organizations doing it, not government. Mars research chronology. I still haven't seen anything about a revolution yet. Studies the planet's atmosphere and soil. Okay. And comments. And robot production facility on Mars. Mars orbit construction begins on experimental manned base. Begins on Mars spaceport Moorcock. June 5. Or hey, we're 1 year away from that completion of, or well, actually not that. We're 1 month away from that, depending on when you're hearing this. Harper, first base. January. Asimov. Mine on Mars. Mars Greening Project. To turn the barren planet into a lush green world like Earth. Initially, large reflecting mirrors would be placed in orbit. Ship back down to the planet. Sometimes the greenhouse gases will be released into the planet. Conditions which allow yeast and other staff following this. But to make conditions favorable for higher forms of life. Turn the red planet green and Mars, the new promised land, represent the energy. Phase 1 of the project. Reflecting mirrors around the planet is currently scheduled for 2020. That's a little ways off. Rocket carrying the first immigration investigative team to Mars. The Beagle Journalism was launched. Beagle Jerusalem was launched just last week. That's funny. Biocommunication. Mechanically detecting and encoding the radioactive responses chemical and other provide living life. The technique is hoped to provide a way for humans to communicate with other species someday. Two scientists, one way upstairs, another PET scans. These techniques have led science to nearly full understanding of the structure of these animals' consciousness. Okay. Dream quarter. We heard about that. Brainwaves allows for playback, which creates distinct sight sounds and physical sensations. However, prohibit playback by other than licensed counselor or psychologist. Recordings are not legally admissible as evidence in a court of law. Alright. Turn the menu. So, politics. What do we got here? Neocomic party. The government fearing mainland Snatcher infiltration from the Neocomic city as a contaminated zone and ordered the closure of all land sea air links, including the Kobe Bridge. The policy. While the policy appears to have so far prevented any spread of the problem, it has exacerbated the isolation of the city itself without contributing to a comprehensive solution to the Snatcher menace. Okay. North-South problem. Neocopi as an immigrant's paradise, vast numbers of foreigners, countries throughout Southeast Asia have moved to the city. Nevertheless, this has increased the asset distribution gap between rich and poor and contributed to the social and ethnic splintering. The problem is best illustrated by the concentration of relatively wealthy long-time residents in the city's northern zones versus the relatively poor, mainly immigrant population centered in the cities. Okay, the southern regions, the trend was spurred by the catastrophe which created vast waves, splitting the city into two distinct groups of cultures, that of the north and the south. Okay. Freemen. Individuals who have managed to erase all record of their own existence from public and private databases and live without fixed residences. Hey, I'm into that. Get yourself off the grid immediately. Also known as freemen, not to be confused with homeless, who have been forced into their condition by economic misfortune. In modern information-controlled society, the lack of computer records on any given individual is tantamount to that individual's non-existence. It's good. The recent increase in their numbers has begun to contribute to crime and labor difficulties in the city. Many of the individuals who choose this lifestyle are former workers on the computer data management industry. Presence underscores one of the major shortcomings of society's current dependence on centralized data control and management. Most of those live in regions of the city which are not municipal data or in the old tunnels of the abandoned tube liner system. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of heading in that direction. Everybody needs a digital ID nowadays. Let's see. Immigrant problem. Has created vast quantities of Eurasian refugees who spread throughout the world, creating a massive global immigrant problem. Chinese form the largest subgroup, and over 2 million have found their way to Japan in at least 5 waves. Paradise at the time was local government choices. As a result, the Chinese percentage of the population grew to become second only to Japanese, but the majority of these have ended up living in the slum districts of the city's southern region. Satisfied with these conditions and the perceived lack of any government effort to rectify them, they have formed their own underground society, which is now far too large for the legitimate government control. Yeah, that happens. In outer districts, those regions where satellite and fiber optic cable networks are used to manage all forms of data, the so-called municipal data administration districts, and the mainly slum regions which are not under such control and oversight. Individuals who cannot get personal guarantees or concentrate in the later regions, as the lack of such ID prevents social functioning in the controlled regions of the city. No forms of cards or credit are accepted in these areas. Cash is the only currency. But cash still needs something to back it up to have value, so I don't understand that. While the government proposals to remedy the situation have been discussed for a number of years. Greater implementation methods, civil rights, and actual progress are being made. Approximately 30% of the city's total area is officially recognized as falling outside the municipal data administration districts, and at least another 10% is believed to be similar beyond government control, but not yet designated as such. Huh. Okay, so we covered all that. What else was in history? We did all that. There's nothing in here about the revolution. Let's see here. Okay, I think I know what I need to do here. Load ID file. Napoleon. Am I getting this spelled right? There it is. The Corporal Emperor of the French. Brilliant military strategist, he deposed the French director and proclaimed himself first consul, saying the famous line, "The revolution is ended." So 1799. Huh. 1799. $39, 5644, $39, 5644, $39, 5644. $39, 6, and then $17.99. Hello, Snake. Why are there no numbers? Oh, I just looked this one up. It's not the actual number. I would never have gotten this. Okay. We'll take care of that later. Let's go back and see what's his face, Harry. Ask. Okay. Something tells me it's not going to end up being a buffalo restaurant. She's one of those, was he? Nano machines. They treat the bodies of wounds from the inside. So there's no reaction with the body of the host. Yeah, when someone tells you don't worry, that's when you should worry. Show. Okay. Evidence. Chest piece. Okay, not very helpful there. Look. Desktop. Oh, see, that's where I was supposed to get. So yeah, I did get that before. Okay. Weird. Let's move to the front. Science cop? Weird. Smell, let's smell. That's funny. Okay, not much there going on there. Let's do this. So yeah, if I didn't call that guy, I would have nowhere to go next. Well, gotta keep that in mind next time I feel like I'm getting stuck.